Yes, I'm back. Writer. I want to continue from where I left off in the previous video. Okay, so make a long story short, the Talmud is a book filled with the philosophies of rabbis, of men. Now, in the Talmud it states Adam, yes, the same Adam in the Bible, was a hermaphrodite. Now, hermaphrodites are based of having a male and female genitalia at the same time, male or female body parts, which is based off of the Greek for Aphrodite and Hermes. Now, in the Talmud, it states that Adam was dating or mating with all the animals in Eden, which is crazy, by the way, because he wanted to find his match before he noticed that he couldn't really get anything on with them, and so that's how Eve came to be and stuff like that. In Talmudic culture, I think it also teaches, in one of the Talmuds, it also teaches about Lilith, but we're not going to go there because that's going to be a bigger kind of worms to open. Now, hermaphrodites are based off of Baphomet, or off of the worship of Baphomet, who in itself is a hermaphrodite, who was a goat, a person with a face of a goat, the body of a human, with hermaphrodite-like genitalia, with his hand position such as so, would be so above as below, which would mean anything that happens up there happens down there as well, or more like anything that you see how they have side by sides with God and who as the devil, Satan. As in the Bible it says, whatever looseth in earth looseth in heaven. So they do it as different. Whatever looseth in earth looseth in hell, or whatever looseth in hell looseth in earth. That's how it works. Anyways, in the Talmud it teaches that anybody with melanated skin, highly melanated skin, will not be in the world to come. Now, why is that? You're saying that every snow lily in this earth is going to be taken up or accepted into new earth, except for the heavily melanated people? Why is that? Which will bring me back to the enslavery part. Now, Jamaicans, you have to listen. When you look at the 1948ers, it's funny because in the courts, they cannot take a DNA test without getting approval from the court. Anybody who has taken their DNA test at 1948 state comes back European with no ancestral ties to the land of Israel. They come back Polish, they come back British, they come back German, they come back Russian, they come back Spanish and Ukrainian. People, I already told you that the Khazarians switched to Judaism, which was known for Talmud practices, which were known for forced to Judaism because they loved the land so much, yes, and they wanted to stay, so they turned into Judaism, which is Talmud practice, Talmud worship. Talmud is related to Tammuz. But you see, this is where the fishy parts come in. Because at that time, Khazaria was known for being to be amongst the Mongolians. And the Chinese and the Mongolians did not have that much of a good relationship. It's why they call the Khazarians identity stealers, because they were known for going to places and inhabiting them and taking it over. Khazarians were known as a nomadic, warlike set of people. Turkish warlike set of people that would not hesitate to take over someone's land in order to pass off as them. Most of the people dealt in transatlantic slave trade were known for Israeli names. When you research the families such as Isa, yes, Isa, you have people like Isa, their families. You have like people like the Silvas. All those Israeli-like names that pop up, like Jacob or Cohen, or all those people's names that you see research, that they were Israelis that were in dealing with making profit off of the suffering of enslaved Africans who were actually Hebrew Israelites. They won't tell you in your history books who they are. They only tell you about 1494. And then they'll only tell you about they took that they took you from the West Coast and took you to Jamaica, not telling you anything else before that. Most of the people on the ship were Judah. When you have your ancestors carry the last name Negro, it was a royal sign. They degraded so many words. They made so many words turn derogatory. Niger, nigger. It meant black or meant king. Black. It said in Acts that someone was Niger. I forgot who it was. It was a teacher, I believe. In Acts 3? My mom thinks it's Acts 3. I personally know it's in Acts because I read it myself. Search through Strong's dictionary what Niger is. Niger is the pronunciation. They noticed when they were coming for us that we called them each other nigger as a sign of comfort. So as derogatory, they decided to turn it into the ones with the 2 G's that you know today. So now that we don't want to say it, there's certain words in our vocabulary, even as Jamaicans, that they say is bad, but it's not actually bad. That is only a sign of who you are. Like the bombo. You know that bombo? The bombo. You know that? Mm-hmm. That was actually the first set of African women that were known as geniuses in mathematics. Let that sink in. They changed so many things about our history that we don't even know about, my friends. Here's another thing. There's a book about these people that were sent, these Africans that were sent to this island called St. Thomas. Yes, and apparently they were sent there, were supposed to be inhabitable. But when they went there, they were thriving. So the people that sent them there went there as well and they died. You want to know why? What happened? What was going on? Apparently, these Africans, or these Hebrews, because they were Hebrews, I'm going to call them Hebrews, had traits of sickle cell that actually protected them. From malaria. So, what does this mean for sickle cell? They're so stringent on getting rid of sickle cell. The sickle cell DNA. What's up with sickle cell? I know that sickle cell is very dangerous. But what's up with sickle cell DNA at that time that made them be protected from all the uninhabitable situations that were going on in that island? Jamaica, your churches are hiding things from you. Your ministers are in the pockets of the government, and they will not say anything. This is why Jamaica needs to be cleansed. Because they know who you are. Let's put it to this in your head. Moses, they like to say that the people are trying to fight, but it's already there. Quite literally, people. If Moses was white, when they were getting him out of the land, where they were trying to hide him, and it's already researched and historically proven that Egyptians were black or of color, would not Moses be found in a sea of black children? Because they said that they did not know that he was Israelite. The princess knew, but she was able to hide it. And then we're going to move to Yahushai. He had to move to Egypt as well. It means that even up to that time, Egypt was black. How would you think of a white Jesus in the middle of black children? Herod would have already gotten himself up and said, let me get that knife. Soldiers, go get that white child. It's not sound. It is not sound. People, wake up. Smell the coffee. What else do I need to say? Right. People.
Israelites, get your act together.
Hebrew Israelites. And I'm calling out to the diaspora of Africa, America. And I'm talking about the Caribbean as well. And the Caribbeans that are over in America, even in South America, even in North America, Central America, all over the earth, because we were scattered all over the earth. Do not trust your governments. I'm still learning. But you have to remember Revelation 2 verse 9 and Revelation 3 verse 9. Curse thee, who say they are Jews but are not, but the synagogue of Satan. For they do lie. Who is calling themselves Jews? Who is acting haughty and acting know-it-all? They don't like black and they don't like Christian. Do you not notice this is why Judaism always excludes New Testament? Because they don't like Yahushua, and they don't like Revelation because it brings out and points out to them who they are and what they are. People, you need to wake up. Because they will listen. If someone walks up to you and tells you that you're anti-Semitic, you're not anti-Semitic. Because if you were anti-Semitic, you'd be only anti-Semitic to yourself. If you're not a part of the land historically and in your blood, then you cannot be anti-Semitic against them.
Bloodline.
They like to say that you can become a Jew. if your mother is a Jew, or if you convert to Judaism. But you notice that in the Bible, it's bloodlines. Your bloodlines are important. Please remember in Matthew 19, or in 19 or John 19, one of them, that it's quite literally said that from Yahushai's mouth, from his lips itself, that he comes to earth to save the lost sheep of Israel. He didn't say the whole wide world. Seeing as we are his children, and seeing as we are known to be the ones that are mandated to do the commandments and to do his feast days, do you not think that because we were already under Roman pressure and Roman enslavement, he most likely was the lamb that was sent as a Passover? Look, his blood was meant to pass over the judgments that's supposed to happen at that time, and to save our blood, so as a remembrance to Yahushua of who we are, for those to come. Passover is mean to skip over. Passover, it's in the name. Skip over. That's why Passover was made in the first place.
That's why they painted their walls with blood, so that the spirit of Yah could just pass over and not touch them. They'd be safe.
So you see, children,
so Yahushua became that lamb for everyone, for us.
Yahushua came to earth for his children. If you want to cleave, and I'm talking to the ones that aren't Hebrew Israelites, if you wish to cleave, you can cleave. But it's explicitly said in the word in Revelation, in which those who cleave will become handmaidens. Not in a bad way. You'll still be important, because you still chose. No matter how badly your bloodline has been doing, you chose and you decided to follow the truth. And that is commendable, and he will remember that. He will not say that you cannot come. But when it comes to the majority of Esau, you're in problem. Obadiah. Slavery was supposed to be terrible. So slavery is always terrible. But they took it too far. Right now, you feel entitled to what you have. Building off of the struggles of Hebrew Israelites, of Africans, of Jamaicans, of every person in the black diaspora. He said that he will raise your mountains down and your cities down, and you will no longer know your wealth. In Joel, it says that you will be the ones enslaved for what you've done. Everything that you've done will be reversed to you.
The curses will be on them.
Back to Genesis 14 with Abraham. Before anyone says that 1948ers are the true Jews, you have to remember that it was 2 times. In that one dream, Abraham had 2 sets of slaveries going on. The first one we know is the Egyptian one, in which Moses had to go and free his people. However, the second one happens for 400 years.
For surety, your seed will go into slavery.
Will go into captivity, into slavery. So that would mean for 400 years, who in the entirety of history has been in slavery for 400 plus years? From 1690, or from the 1600s, all the way up to 2019. Because let's face it, we are not free. I don't know about you, but being forced to sit through racism, being forced to do 8 or even 3 jobs at the same time when a white person can be able to do everything one time with no problems, or being held down by your throat by a police officer struggling to breathe simply because of the color of your skin does not feel like freedom. People getting lynched still in their own school campuses or in the middle of squares or in the middle of their neighborhood is not free.
And that's over there.
People getting and people getting shot at in their own homes by their own police officers, whether it be in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, or anywhere else, is not free. That's still slavery, especially when you do things.
That's what he said.
When you're trying to live life. People wrote letters, whether it be Belgium. They wrote a letter saying, look, the chickens.
King Leopold.
Take King Leopold, you can take the chickens. Take their chickens so they won't have anything. Take their flocks, take their food. And listen, if somebody invites you in, you can go in and sit. But don't you ever think about inviting them into your house, because they'll just dirty everything up.
And if they do come in,
don't give them a seat at your table.
And not offer them nothing.
Don't offer them anything. Do you know how diabolical it is?
It's crazy work.
And we're still here glazing them. That's where the Eurocentric mindset comes in.
Stockholm syndrome.
Esau is angry that Jacob got the birthright. Esau was known as a hairy person. Who in this entire world do you know is a hairy people? Hairy. Who do you know? But I know white people. Sorry. I'd say it. Every white person that I've seen, especially the men, hairy. Jacob's skin was smooth. Guys, you need to study the history. And I'm not talking. Don't even bother going into Jamaican records, because they don't have anything. We share the same history with African Americans. Similar slavery methods were used. They just went three different directions with us. We came on the same slave ships. They docked some here because Jamaica's ports were usually the ones that they sent their slaves to. Mobay area, which is funny. Because 27 people, I found the records. 27 people.
Share what's your story? Come on, later.
Okay, sorry about that. My uncle just came in. It's a Wi-Fi situation. So 27 people. I found the records for the I can't find them again. I have to try and find them again. 27 people were supposed to be en route to Kingston, but for some reason they went en route back to Mobay, and 27 people along the way escaped. 2 of which Cambridge. Now, I don't know if anybody knows any history from any family members that came from Cambridge to Montego Bay, but it was a man and a woman. Seeing as they came from the same ship, so most likely somebody from somewhere in Cambridge had to have been breeding with them, but they bred with each other high into, cause Cambridge is bushy already. Cambridge bushy. My grandfather know Cambridge bushy because I come from Cambridge. High up in the mountain, and my grandfather they come out in a Cambridge. To the point in which fuck could I see. I don't know if I descended from her or what. But I know say is somebody from Cambridge, one of this ancestor them they able to escape from that. One of them died en route to Montego Bay because of a hurricane, natural disaster. Another one escaped, but was recaptured again, sadly. but the others escaped. They don't know which parts they are, but the two of them were at Cambridge, or that was nearby the docks, wherever that area is. If there was a dock around those areas or nearby coastline, I don't know. But people, when they had too much, because they didn't have enough space for breeding spaces, when it came to the Jamaicans or to the Hebrew Israelites that were dropped here, they moved them to America, which is where the African Americans come from, or the African Americans are now that we know them. The Patois we speak come from Nigeria, Nigerian pidgin.
Mm-hmm.
We're related to the Congolese, which Leopold of Belgium, King Leopold of Belgium, he decimated 10 million of those people.
His letter's on the internet.
His letter is on the internet, and all now Belgium has not given an apology.
They said they not do.
They said they not get. Netherlands said they not getting no apology neither. And they're the ones that skinned us.
Take tweezers
Take
peel off
tweezers
the
and
skin.
peel off the skin them in the Netherlands.
I wonder if that's something we go through, you know, every evil thing where you can imagine, if you just a human and do it. Everything.
Guys, just realize, say, listen, they don't care about if you're a pitney or if you're adult. They use our children as alligator baits. They would go into the houses late at night and steal children from their mother's houses, from their mother's rooms, without them looking whilst they're asleep. And they would string them up, and they would use them as bait for the alligators to come.
Then put them in a one cage.
Put them in a one cage
And
and tie the string on it. And make alligator them come and eat them. And then we have to catch the alligator, and then do it probably like 2 or 3 more times throughout the night until they have enough. They did that at America. We have crocodiles here, don't we? I'm sure.
Alligator pond, they don't know.
Alligator pond. Alligator then. People, we have to have the same situation too. And I'm sure we do. Yes, I'm sure we do. Because I heard that a slave owner forced another slave to poop, to go in another slave's mouth. I'm not even surprised. Sodomy was definitely confirmed. Forced.
You tell them about when they came with less slaves.
Oh,
And they said, oh, we don't have enough slaves. We got hungry and ate them.
right.
We'll bring more the next time.
There was a ship that was coming to Jamaica's docks, but there was something about getting intercepted by some British people, and so they got held back. By the time they reached the Montego Bay ports, they said, "Oh, okay, the shipment. Not many slaves are here, so what's going on?" And the people on the ship said, "Oh, right. Because of the situation of the British, the ships there that were intercepting us, we got held back. So we got hungry, so we ate a few. Don't worry, we'll make up the numbers next time."
I think those are the two different incidents.
There were 2 different incidents.
That
And
was separate from the time when the British ship, when they had abolished slavery, they were still transporting slaves. So they doubled back to Cuba, and the British chased them there and caught them. And the teens that were on the ship told them what happened. They took them to court, but nothing came of it. They just had to release the slaves, but nothing happened to the slave owners
right.
or the captive, the thieves, whoever.
If you can hear what she said, people, stop glazing
Stop glazing them white people, man.
these white people. And we see them and teach them off a beard.
Yo. Man, we ain't trying to teach no hate though.